DuvalSports.com, Dreamkingfilmz. We're here with Coach Balom of the TERRP Braves. Hey, Coach, spring 2016 here. Just talk about your team and what excites you about the Braves.
I'm excited. I'm no longer a rookie coach anymore. This is my second year, so I feel like I've got my first year under my belt, and everything now is kind of just being in the groove, going back to things. But I'm so excited about Parker football right now. We got a great thing going on. We got basically our whole offensive line, our quarterback coming back with Isaac Ricks in the backfield, and we're just excited. We got 2 3-star athletes that are being recruited all over, and that's our quarterback Eric Hill and Nicholas Woodard. So we're excited. We're getting better every day. Numbers aren't where we want them to be, but we're happy with the Braves that we got because the ones that are here, they're locked in. So we're excited. We're ready to get back in the thick of things. We thought we came up a little short last year, and I think the kids learned from that. So this year they're ready to go out there and they're ready to take on the challenge that Jacksonville has to offer. And Coach Balom and the Braves, we're excited and we're ready.
Yes, sir, Coach. Eric Hill. Talk about him, what makes him good, and talk about Cameron Sapp and that fire he's putting under Eric Hill and that little competition between those two guys.
We got 2 of the best quarterbacks in the city of Jacksonville. That's right. Eric Hill, our senior, and Cameron Sapp, who's the up-and-coming sophomore, who's just as good, and he's pushing him every day. But what makes Eric special, number one, he's a smart kid. Eric's a 3.4 kid. He has a chance to graduate. He grasps the offense really, really well, and so he makes the job as a coach really, really easy. It's not, you know what I'm saying, he makes it easy for you where as long as Eric is upright and standing up, he's going to give us a chance. And the thing about it is Cameron is just as good as Eric. And so we have the best of both worlds right now with 2 quarterbacks, and Cameron's pushing the issue. He's getting excitement. He's getting noticed from other people who see that he's being looked at, and he's being, following a great quarterback. But Cameron is just as good, and look for great things because he's going to continue to play, and he's going to get some dual playing time with Eric as well. So look for the dual quarterback system from Parker. Look for us to do some great things. But Eric Hill, he's the guy. He's got a couple offers right now, and so we're excited. But Sapp is the future. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Coach. Young wide receiver core, Ja Williams showed me a lot of sparks. Just talk about him and that young wide receiver core, Coach.
This is the year for him. A lot of seniors left. This is the year for Ja to step up. Ja started his season off great with the offseason. He had one of the fastest times in the cone drill down in the Nike Open in Orlando. He had a write-up on him. He's probably one of the quicker guys in the city. Great hands, feet never stop moving. Look for some great things from Ja. The last 2 years he's had to play defensive back because there were some great receivers in front of him. But this is Ja's year. We were just talking about it after practice. Just because you're still young and you're an underclassman, you still have that right as a leader to be vocal, and leadership doesn't have an age. But Ja Williams, look for him to be the next nice receiver coming out of Jacksonville. Feet never stop moving. He came out of Star Ready, and so we appreciate them grooming those guys up right. But Ja Williams, Clarence Long, Joseph Jones, and Reginald Garrett, we're looking for some excellent things from. We got Coach Damien Noop Swang over, and he's doing some great things. He's working with our passing game, and he's got our receivers running some great routes and doing some awesome things.
Yes, sir, Coach. We all know Terry Parker has put out a long line of top running backs, Tyrod Merritt, Lionel Gates. Let's talk about Isaac Ricks and what he could provide the Braves this year.
The Liberian Nightmare, not the Nigerian Nightmare. We have the Liberian Nightmare. Number one, Isaac's a 4.4, IB student, national honor, everything. I didn't know there was that many National Honor Societies around, but he is a tank, and once he gets his shoulders square, there's not many people that want to continue to tackle him. So we're going to use Isaac to weaken up those defense, to soften those guys up, so we can get things going and going in the right way. But Isaac, look for Isaac to be a 1,000-yard rusher and probably be in the top 10 rushers in the city this year. But Isaac Ricks comes back, 3rd year of playing football. The kid's moved from a different country. He's here now, and he's everything a coach could dream for on and off the field.
Yes, sir, Coach. We all know Isaac can't get going if you don't have those big holes up front opening up holes. Talk about Nick Woodard and those and that whole offensive line up there, Coach.
Starts with Nicholas Woodard, Shalik McRae, Christopher Powell, Damien Mothers, and Vincent Patterson. Nicholas Woodard and Shalik McRae will be 2 Division I football players that you'll see on the next level. Nicholas Woodard now, again, he's started every game at left tackle since he's been at Terry Parker. He's going into his senior year, so you're looking at a kid who started since he stepped on campus. There's not too many defenses, not too many things or schemes that he hasn't seen. He's the anchor, and he's the stud of our offensive line, followed by the young sophomore Shalik McRae, who's just as big and just as good. So just look for, again, 54 and 62, Shalik and Nick Woodard to move to Powell. Look for Nick to continue to get a lot of great offers around the city and be a great athlete. But those guys are going to move the power. Well, we will have to replace one guy on that line from last year. So we're excited that it starts up front, and we know that for us to dance, we got to dance up front first to move and get everything moving with our offense.
Yes, sir, Coach. Staying in the trenches, but moving over to the defensive side of the ball. Give me something on that defensive line. I noticed Nick may play, Paul may play, Salik. Give me something on that group,
those
Coach.
guys, they hogs, they're linemen, and this year again, they're going both ways. Again, with some help from Tavian Parker, who's a true pass rusher, and you got Landon Danes as well as linebacker. You got some great young linebackers who now are stepping onto the scene, but they've been around and they're seasoned and they've had some great coaching. So look, a lot of great things besides Nicholas and Salik and Powell. Look for a lot of good things out of Tavian Parker, and we call him Wiz, but his name is Chris Courtney. Two great linebackers that are coming back, who led our teams in tackles. They were the leading tacklers coming back this year, and so we look for some great things for Wiz and for Tavian. We got a transfer over Mr. Bobby Brown from Bishop Kenny. I'm excited about him. He's a family member. He's one of the lockdown corners. A lot of people don't know about him because he's a freshman, but look for some great things that come out of our corner, Bobby Brown, and our linebackers, Tavian and Christopher Courtney.
Yes, sir, Coach. Staying with Bobby, what makes him good and what makes him such a great corner here in the city of Jacksonville?
His feet work and the determination. He doesn't let his size dictate his heart. He has a really, really big heart, and he's tough. He plays with good feet. He knows how to always read the defender. Read the receiver, and he's always sticking his head in there. He's a 5'7", 140-pound guy, but he's always willing to stick his head in there to deflect the ball, and he competes with the best of them. And again, he's got an older veteran that he gets to compete against every day in Ja Williams that's going to continue to make him better. So competition and him willing to accept the challenge of competition, you know, he's a great kid. He's a listener, and he's coachable.
Yes, sir, Coach. Talk about the rest of your defensive back and how Bobby's coming over, gelling with those guys.
I say him, Reginald Garrett, you got Clarence Long back there, and Ja Williams. He's gelling in because he's been here since February. He's got a chance to go through a 7-on-7 off season. He's got a chance to do some things with the weight room and just kind of gel being over here. And since he's got here, he's bought in. He feels comfortable. He knows a lot of these kids from growing up. He just now, I think he's back in his comfort zone, and that's what made the transition easy. And then with him again knowing a lot of these kids, it makes that just as much easier. But again, the defensive secondary, again, Coach Prime Harris, again, one of the better defensive backs, you know, ex-arena football player. He's always coaching. He loves his drills, and he's going to drill these kids to death. They don't also have to be the most talented, but as long as they're willing to work, he's going to come and give them the business and the action that they need to get better.
Yes, sir, Coach. Give me a young guy or two that may have turned your head early on in the spring here.
Cameron Sapp. I mean, we got to get Cameron Sapp, our backup quarterback, #1, and he's always turned ahead just with his ability and the things that he's able to do. #2 would obviously be Damien Mothers. He's a freshman who's going into his sophomore year. He's a big kid. He's 6'3", 260 pounds. He's going to be a defensive tackle. And last year, he's a 14-year-old puppy. Now he's growing up. He's been in the weight room. He's been around Nicholas and Salik and those guys. So that's paying off, and he's a bright future. Looking at Damien Mullins, he's going to be a big kid. He's going to give us a lot of impact at the defensive tackle position. So we're expecting some big things from Damien, and he's been the young pup that's caught our eyes because, again, I remember when he first came over as an 8th grader and seeing that year transition. He's one that's popping off the radar right now. Him and Joseph Jones. Joseph Jones is a kid that played quarterback last year. Again, we have two great quarterbacks, and Joe made up in his mind that he was going to make the change to receiver. He bought into the offseason in the weight room, and Joe now has put himself to probably be our 2nd or 3rd receiver on the depth chart. And so some good things are going to come for Joseph as long as he keeps working and doing those small things right.
Yes, sir, Coach. Last question. We all know the Senate just passed the bill. Kids can pretty much transfer in, transfer out, play where they want to. We just want to get your take on it and know, did it hurt Parker? Will it help Parker? And what do y'all think about the bill over here at TERRP Parker?
I'm not a big fan of the bill, but at the same time, this is my take, and I would tell any coach or any parent, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing at your program and you're taking care of your kids and you're loving them first, this rule has nothing to do with you. This rule basically attacks the guys that are not doing their job and that their kids are not happy at their place, and that's not at Parker. So the rule may help us because kids see, people around the city see what's going on, and so some people can decide to be a part of something great or something different that's going on. But we don't feel like this is going to hurt us because one thing at Parker, and that we hang our hat on, we love your kids unlike anybody else. And so long as we continue to do those things first and lead by example, being good coaches and good men, that rule doesn't affect us, but I'm not a big fan of it because it doesn't teach these kids as young men how to be loyal and how to be dedicated to something. So I think we're setting them up for failure later on down the life. And so for that part of it, I'm not a big fan of it. But at the end of the day, it won't hurt Terry Parker, and it won't hurt our program, and it won't help us because I think the city and kids are starting to see the direction that we're going in. So you would only naturally want to be a part of it.
Yes, sir, Coach. Thanks for talking with us, and good luck to the future of the Terry Parker Braves.
Appreciate it. I love Duval Sports. Appreciate what you guys doing. Keep it going.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, baby. Hit me.